Today, we're talking about the environment in SwiftUI. I'm going to tell you how it's used, what values you can access in the environment, and then we're going to wrap up with a pretty common example of adjusting your UI based on what dynamic type setting the user has, and we get that value from the environment. When you use the SwiftUI framework, it creates an environment for your app. I like to think of this as a way for the device, the phone, the iPad, whatever, to communicate its system settings to your app. Things like, is it in light mode or dark mode? Again, what dynamic type setting it has, any other accessibility settings, what locale it's in, right? What country, orientation, size classes. You can get a lot of information about the device through the environment. In fact, here's a whole list that I'll link to in the description, but I'll scroll through it pretty quickly of environment values. So you can see here's a bunch of accessibility ones that you can get. Again, color schemes. This is light mode, dark mode, control attributes. Again, check this out. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. We're going to talk about a couple in the video, but I want to point out one thing at the bottom is as SwiftUI is a relatively new framework, things are still changing, it's still maturing. So definitely check out these deprecated environment values because these are two very commonly used ones. Used to see presentation mode all the time to dismiss a modal. And then size category used to be how you access dynamic type. But if we click on size category, you can see this is deprecated in iOS 15 and says use dynamic type sized instead. It's a pretty on-the-nose name. Not sure why that wasn't named that from the beginning, but hey, I'm sure there were reasons. So we'll go back to that list. Always check out the deprecations. And if you do see other environment tutorials, maybe they were using presentation mode or maybe they were using size category. Don't be confused. That's just the old name. Now I want to mention one other thing that may be confusing. We're talking about environment values. There's another thing in SwiftUI, a property wrapper called environment object. These are two different things, however, they're similar. The environment object property wrapper lets us create our own object. Say you have a user object in your app and inject it in the environment so we can share it between two views. Whereas these environment values that we're going to talk about in this video, again, these are like the system settings, right? Well, are you in dark mode, light mode? What accessibility do you have? So they're similar but different, and I want to avoid that confusion. Okay, now let's get to the example of using these environment values in our app. So quick run through of the starter project. I just have an HStack with an image of my face and then the text of my name. Pretty simple. Well, a very common thing when supporting dynamic type is oftentimes you have to adjust your UI to handle the giant text. Well, we need access to what dynamic type size the user has on their phone so we can act accordingly. And again, we can get that through the environment value. So here's one example at environment, open parentheses, slash dot, and then we'll do dynamic type size. And then we create a variable called dynamic type size. So that's how we access this. And I need the capital S there. And if you're wondering, how did I know what to type there? Again, back to that website I shared, which I'll link to in the description, right? All these environment values, text styles, you can see here it is, dynamic type size. And if you click into it, you can see what a dynamic type size is. Click there, and you can see the enum of all of the values down here. We get accessibility 1, accessibility 2, large, medium, small, extra small. You're going to see us use that in a second, but this is how you can dig into each of these environment values to see what's actually available. Okay, so back to Xcode. Now that we have this dynamic type size variable, what I can do in my body here is a simple if-else statement. And I'm going to write this pretty simply. This video is not about refactoring this perfectly. I want to get the point across on how to use these environment values. So you can do if dynamic type size, that's the variable we have up here on line 12, is greater than or equal to dot, and you can see here's that enum I just showed in the documentation. Accessibility 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, large, medium, small, extra large. If you know about dynamic type, or I'm sorry, if you don't know about dynamic type, these are like the default dynamic type sizes, this large, medium, small, extra, extra large. However, there's like an extra layer of dynamic type that you can go even bigger, and that's accessibility 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So accessibility 5 is the absolute biggest one. And actually, before we type this out, let me show you that. So I'm going to comment this out for now, and I'm going to show you how you can see what that looks like on your preview. So here in this button here, we have our preview attributes here, dynamic type. You can see I can create all of these. And these are like the old names. So this accessibility 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is new in iOS 15 with the dynamic type name. It used to be accessibility extra large. So that's what we're going to put here. And you can see over here, it gave us the environment size category, accessibility extra large. Now, it's using the old iOS 14 size category. I'm on Xcode 13 beta. I'm not sure if this hasn't updated yet. Oh, and another thing, if you do want to use this dynamic type size in your project, make sure your deployment info is to iOS 15. Because again, if you're in iOS 14 or below, that doesn't exist. This is a new iOS 15 thing. So we can actually do that here. We can change this to dynamic type size and then .accessibility 5. It's the same thing, but now we're using like the new iOS 15 stuff. Resume my preview, but you can see how this H stack, right? The words are getting super long. Now, of course, Sean Allen is a relatively short name, but let's say I did, middle name, right? You can see how we probably don't want this to be an H stack anymore. A very common thing when adjusting your UI for dynamic type is to take something that's an H stack and make it a V stack when the text is of a certain size. So we'll get rid of that example there. So again, back to what I was typing here, I'll uncomment that out. If dynamic type size is greater than or equal to accessibility, we'll say 2. Anything 2 and above, we want to make this a V stack. Anything less, we'll keep it an H stack. And you would have to obviously play with your unique UI to see what is the best thing for you. This is just an example. Let me type the else statement here so I have all that. So this H stack I want to put in here. And then we'll actually copy this because we're going to make this a V stack. I'm sorry. We'll paste that here as well. This top one is the V stack, right? Because if our dynamic type size is greater than accessibility 2, put this in a V stack. If it's smaller, keep it in an H stack. And as you can see in our preview, we have a V stack where our image is on top, our name is on the bottom. Now, if I go down to my preview and change this to accessibility 1, which should be back to an H stack, cool. And if I do accessibility 3, we're back to a V stack, right? So again, this is an example of reaching up into the environment, getting whatever dynamic type size is set for the device, and then adjusting our UI accordingly, right? Again, if we have super duper large text, hey, go ahead and make this a V stack. If the text is small enough, keep it an H stack, right? Again, super simple example, but you can see how that would work. We'll do one more. We'll do the color scheme for light mode and dark mode at environment, and then it's /.color scheme, var color scheme. And then now let's say for my name here, I can do .for ground color. We can do color scheme equals .dark. If that is true, ternary operator here. Let's make the color of my name red. If it is in light mode, let's do .green. And then we'll also do this, I know this isn't dry code, but hey, this is just a quick example. Do it down here for the H stack as well. So now you can see in my preview, we're in light mode, we're in green. And again, we can adjust our preview here, color scheme, right? Let's change the color scheme to dark. And then you'll see my name changes to red. And just like before, we're reaching up into the environment, getting what color scheme the device has and adjusting our UI accordingly. So that was a basic example of using the environment values. Again, back to the website, it will be linked. Check out, I guess we're in dynamic type size, but check out this whole list of environment values that you can access should your app need it. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one.